from Education Policy, our partner in Belgrade, Serbia, for this regional youth leadership mobility program. Ivana Černić is here with me today. Also, you will hear from my colleague Lutiona Lula and also Erida Tsurai, who will also serve as mentors for the program. The idea for today is to briefly present you with the call and the application process. I'm sure that you have already seen the files and the relevant forms published online on both SCiDEV and CEP websites. But we wanted to make sure to receive questions, provide answers, and any necessary clarifications to make it as easy as possible for all of you to apply on due course. Just briefly about the project. So this was initiated by as a cooperation, as a joint effort from the Center for Education Policy in Belgrade, Serbia, and the Center for Science and Innovation for Development in Tirana, Albania, and it is supported by the Open Society Foundation's offices in Belgrade and in Tirana. Our aim is basically to contribute to strengthening regional cooperation, and particularly cooperation between Albania and Serbia, through establishing and maintaining collaboration between youth and empowering youth with various sets of skills in terms of leadership, research, policy, and evidence-based advocacy for you basically to participate in public life and social life and to be active in decision-making processes. The project includes a capacity building and mentoring pillar for all the selected participants, and then the most important part and the highlight of it is, of course, the mobility in Belgrade and in Tirana. In addition to that, we will organize relevant public events to mobilize other stakeholders and partners in the field as well, and to raise awareness about the importance of cooperation, but also the relevance and the added value of engagement of youth in public life and in decision-making processes. So this is a general, let's say, overview about our project, and I will then leave the floor to Ivana from Center for Education Policy to explain more about the application, followed by Lutiona. And then we are happy to receive questions and answers. Just for the procedure, the recording of this session will be made available online on the same webpage where the documents for the application are, for future references for you or for other candidates who wish to apply for the program. And let's not forget the deadline in the first week of December, but Ivana and Lutiona will explain you more about that. Thank you once more for your interest, and I wish you all good luck with the application process. Ivana, the digital floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Blariana. Hello to everyone, and like Blariana said, thank you so much for your interest in this project. I'm Ivana Černić. I'm a research coordinator at Center for Education Policy. You could see a brief presentation of our organization in the application, and we also provided the link so you can read more about CEP. I will probably be one of the mentors and also my colleagues, so you will get to meet more of CEP staff in case you get selected. But for this time, I just wanted to go with you through the application research proposal template to see if everything is clear. Of course, you will be able to ask questions afterwards. And I will now just share one slide so we can have everything here on screen. Like you see in our research proposal template, we first ask you about your motivation for applying. We would like to know more about what got you interested in applying for this project. Why are you interested in the topics that you selected, that especially in those areas that we said that are our key areas, which is digital transformation, education, and youth participation. So we would like to hear something, basically from the heart. Why do you think that involvement in this project will be very good for you professionally? Why are you interested? And what would you like to see as main gains for you? The second part refers to the problem analysis. Once you have selected your topic within those thematic areas, we would like to hear more about what is the key issue that you would like to research, because this is a research-based program. So we would like to have very quality research reports that will be used for advocacy, but that will also be very informative for policymakers. And please, when you are writing your problem analysis, refer to your local, national or regional dimensions. Like you could mention your strategic documents, some new policy documents that are relevant for your context that you would like to include in your research, and also try to make some reference to how you will compare maybe situations in Albania and Serbia, or maybe how you will address this issue in both countries. Because as you know, you have 1 month mobility program that you will spend in each country. So you will have opportunity to explore this program, this issue, not only in your country, but also in partner country. Regarding your work plan, you will, of course, as for any other research, place some specific objectives and your methods that you will apply during your research. And also you can propose some advocacy actions, like Blariana mentioned. We already have in mind some advocacy actions that will be done on project level, but you can also propose how do you envisage advocacy actions that you will initiate, or maybe that your research can be a part of. Regarding results, impact and knowledge sharing, this is important for us because this is also a youth leadership program. So please explain to us how you will kind of impact your community or wider community with your research, and do you have any idea how these research results can be used in practice or for policy making? Expected influence on your personal development, of course, is something completely related to your career, and we would like to hear more about your career goals and how this research will complement them. We have put some words limit, of course, please try to keep, but if you need a few words more, that is of course okay. As you are aware, this research template will then go to selection committee, and you will be evaluated based on some criteria that I asked for Luciana maybe to closely elaborate.
So good morning all. I can. Okay. So good morning everyone, and thank you for the interest shown in the call. As Ivana explained, the core of this mobility program is research and youth leadership, and of course the research proposal is one of the steps of the application, but actually this is a two-step application. And the first one is filling out the form. I'm just going to share it so you can. This is the link to the online Google form where you can do the first step application, which is your personal data, as you can see. And the most, of course, relevant part in this kind of applications is the motivation. We kindly ask you to be as specific as possible in this, especially if you come from a youth organization or youth academia, to strictly, well, not strictly, but to link this as much as possible with your daily activities, so we can see that there will be some continuity both in your personal, professional records, but also for the sake of any ideas that you might come up with during the exchanges and whatsoever. So the motivation, we want it to be as close to your heart as possible. So it can be brief, it doesn't need to be very long, but it needs to be very concise, clear, and also as real as possible. We have still people joining, so maybe okay. So good morning to all of those who just joined. We are going briefly through the application process and application criteria. First and foremost, application is, of course, the citizenship should be someone from Serbia or Albania. This is a bilateral mobility program. Secondly, it targets youth. So the youth law in Serbia considers people up to 30, in Albania up to 29. So it has to be 18 to 30 in both cases. We did it inclusive. And thirdly, The background, as I said previously, it has to be either a master or PhD student, someone who is recently graduated, those young people who engage in research, those young people who have shown local leadership skills, like through youth activism or even engagement in civil society organizations. So the first step is the form that I already showed, and the second step is partially the submission of the research proposal, as Ivana explained. But also don't forget, you need to, together in that email where you send the research proposal, you should also submit the CV and one reference letter together with the contact of the professor or person who is referring you for this mobility program. The reference letter doesn't need to be recent. It's just that the person is available if we contact him or her in this case. There is the link to the full website call on SCiDEV in your chat, and the call has also been promoted from our colleagues at CEP, and also the supporters of this program, which are the both Open Society foundations in Albania and Serbia. So this is the general overview. What else can I say except that it's going to be a very exciting experience. You will meet interesting fellows from Albania, but also from Serbia. And yeah, it should be an interesting opportunity for all. Okay, 2 more people joining. Okay, so it's Mercy and Ivana who just joined us. Good morning, Mercy. Good morning, Ivana.
Hello, everyone. I'm just having a connecting issue, and soon I will fix, and maybe I can join more actively.
No problem. So maybe just to sum up what we did this 10 minutes. So Ivana explained the research proposal application, and I explained the Google form and the eligibility criteria. So all in all, you need to be willing to join the program and should show that through the motivation. Be from 18 to 30 years old, from Albania or Serbia, and interested have a clear research proposal of one of the topics, which is digital transformation of higher education and youth participation. And the background should be either recent graduate, a master or PhD student, or someone engaged in local or national organizations, or a youth activist. So all in all, this is a general one. I don't know if you have questions, or if those who joined lately maybe want to us to elaborate more on one of the points. Also, Rida, if you want to add something,
I would like as well to add some. So despite that we will have a very interesting timing with peer-to-peer reviewer together with the mentors and together with the students, it will be as well this sharing experience with both countries. But for sure, the other good thing that we will have during this time, it will be the, I would just wrap up with the entertainment word, because already we have prepared a guide for the students, especially the students from Serbia, but as well students from Albania, that we will have a very easy going agenda for them and suggestion, and at the same time we will share not only this let's say academia research field, but as well we will share the culture, and as well what is more important is that we will share what is the long life learning with each other. So I'm so excited as a mentor, and I'm so looking forward for the time that we will share together this experience, and we will learn from each other. And as well, Luciana, I would like to ask the participant today that if they have a further question, maybe not only that we can consume now during this info session, but as well they can send us this question and we will reply to them during the coming days as well, not only for the question that we have now, but maybe the other youth that they will apply, and as well if they have in the coming days other questions, please they can ask us and we will publish them in the frequent asked question on our webpage.
If I can just add up also regarding the comparative aspect of the research. So if you're not sure of how you will approach your research in your host country, your mentors will be there to help you and to organize if you need any kind of field visits, interviews, or any kind of support. And also aside from this, you will also have some kind of informal part of your visit that you will be able to experience life in Belgrade, or maybe to participate in some events that will be available during that time that are also important either for your research or just for your, I don't know, your area of interest.
I see a question in the chat from Dorantina. Hi, good morning, Dorantina. This is Brianna. How are you? Good to see you. The idea is to have a 4-week mobility in a row in Belgrade, and the time plan for mobilities is March and April. I think it's March or April and May. This is like March and May maximum. First, the idea is to be there for 4 weeks, and as Rida explained, and Ivana and Luciana have the possibility for participants to also work peer-to-peer, so basically to support each other, in addition to working with the mentors in doing the research, but also in accessing relevant stakeholders and institutions, organizing relevant intercultural activities, and basically getting to know the country better, and including this comparative element as well in the study. So it means that it will be 1 month or 4 weeks basically in Belgrade for the Albanian applicants, and 4 weeks or 1 month in Tirana for the Serbian applicants.
Also, Blariana mentioned it, but don't forget the deadline, especially for applicants from Albania, because we have a long weekend going on now, like 4 days of holiday, and then 6 is just around the corner. So please don't forget that December is already here. The city is being decorated, so it's quite fun.
Yes, and we will, so if you have other questions, please feel free to write them in the chat. Already in the call, you have an email address dedicated to the project that Center for Education Policy and SCiDEV check regularly, so we can always respond there as well. But this video, together with a frequently asked question document, will also be available on our website where the call is published. We also do a lot of social media reposts to attract more attention, so please feel free to check that. And if you want to forward this call to other friends or colleagues that you know that might be interested in Albania or in Serbia to apply for this, please feel free to do so. This session is dedicated to you, so turn on the camera or not, but turn on the microphone and please ask your questions. Anything that you want to clarify in preparation for your application. I don't know, Ivana, Luciana, did we cover the criteria? Sorry, maybe I missed that. Evaluation criteria, right?
No, we didn't go through the template. Maybe Luciana can present.
Sure.
Yeah, the application criteria. Sorry,
The evaluation one.
Evaluation criteria. If you don't have it open, I can.
Yes, please, if you can.
Yeah. sorry, wrong one. Yes. So can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this first table is basically, do you have all the formal eligibility criteria satisfied? So you're belonging to the specific age group, you're relevant, you're part of the relevant target group, you have submitted the full application, so you have recommendation letter, a CV, research proposal, and you have also filled in your Google form. Your quality of proposal in terms of English language, we didn't want to include any kind of English test, because all work will be done in English, so research should be written in English. So we kind of decided that you should apply and submit everything in English. So we will have some basic assessment of your English knowledge based on that. Review of general characteristics. So basically your previous research experience, previous regional experience, expertise in selected topic, your motivation, recommendations, are they valid, and leadership potential. Some parts of this will be evaluated from your CV, like your research experience, regional experience, but also from your proposal template and your Google form, like motivational leadership potential. For each of these, you will get from 1 to 5 points, and then the total sum of your points will decide your rank. Quality of your research proposal will be evaluated basically on the criteria of to which degree to which problem analysis is well elaborated, what we discussed when I was explaining the research template. Is it contextualized, and what I mentioned, is it relevant? Did you made reference to your regional or national context? So is it evident that this is something that is a relevant issue in your country or in the neighborhood? Also, how did you plan your methodology? Is it feasible? Is it relevant? And the degree to which mobility that you will spend in one of the countries is linked to your research design. So are you expecting to do some research in Serbia or Albania, to do interviews with some specific stakeholders? Will you do a survey or something like that? So how did you connect those two parts of this program? And of course, your dissemination and ideas and proposed advocacy plan, it will be evaluated also based on are they feasible? Do they involve relevant target groups? Do you have an idea how to do it nationally, but also to cover hosting country and visiting country and so on? And summary of the review of your proposal will have some major strengths and weaknesses. Each member of the selection committee will fill in this form, and then we will have one joint review of your research proposal. And based on these, you will be you'll be informed about whether you're accepted or not. There is a possibility that maybe there will be a waiting list, because some people maybe will not be able to come during the time that is planned or something like that. So maybe we will have to go to the waiting list, but the number of selected people for now will be 10. And of course, you will be notified if you are maybe part of the waiting list.
Thank you, Ivana. We have a question in the chat by Gina. Gina is asking if the research will be individual work. Yes, so you will apply individually through your proposal, and the work will be conducted individually. So the product at the end will be an individual policy paper, but during the program you will be, because there are two general topics, so we expect that there might be similar ideas. So we will pair you up with your peers based on your proposal. And then you can exchange ideas and knowledge about the situation in each of the countries. So it can help you with the comparative analysis as well. So, but the product will be an individual policy and it will be published. So I think that will benefit you all as young researchers, or but also us knowing more the perspective of young people, us, and hopefully also regional policy makers and actors. And there is also a second question, if you can send questions during the proposal writing to the email address. Yes, so, but to be fair and open during the selection process, you can write in the email provided in the chat, the program email, by 3rd of December, because from 3rd to 6th, then we want to have this buffering period for application. And so if you have any questions, please read the call, write us by 3rd. The deadline is 6th. So yeah.
Good morning. Can I make a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry I hindered late. I appreciate and I thank you for all the information that you shared with us. I wanted to know which can we make our proposals exactly to those two topics, or we can expand these research proposals in subtopics that are related with the two main topics.
So the two main topics are the overarching topics. Then you have identified a specific issue within that, that general topic, you're free to choose, but it has to fall under one of the two main pillars. Or if you can find a cross-cutting issue between both, then of course, but it has to be linked to either one or the other as an overall one.
So basically, these are thematic areas. Your research doesn't need to be digital transformation and education like a topic. So within that thematic area, you can select numerous smaller issues that you want to research.
Any other questions?
Sorry, I have another question too.
Yes, please.
If I may know, when is planned for Albanian students to be in Serbia, and when is planned for Serbian students to be in Albania? Because it's a part that master students have their exam season, and to be clear,
that's true.
With their agenda.
That's taken into consideration. Usually in Serbia, the academic year starts by end of September, mid-September. A little bit earlier than in Albania. So we will be having the deadline by 6th of December. By the end of December, we will, the aim is that both organizations and the selection committee sends out the results by the end of December. There will be a launching event in Tirana in January 28th. Then throughout January and February, because students in Serbia and Albania will be through examination period, the online capacity building program will take place. Then March and April are the periods to conduct mobilities for Albanians in Serbia and for Serbs here in Albania. So
for now, it is planned for mobility in Belgrade to take place in April, but this is preliminary, and in Tirana in March. This is preliminary, of course. If it shows up that it's better to do it differently, then, but those 2 months will probably stay.
Yeah, but like the important part is that you should plan that in spring, within these 2 months, you should have 4 weeks availability to join. Then which 4 weeks will be, we will decide it also together. It's on the rolling basis. Any other questions? However, as mentioned before by also Rida, this is the serious part of the program, and we want you to do a good application and to be as clear as possible with the requirements, because I personally have studied in Belgrade in 2013, and by then there was no Berlin process or nothing else. So it was a little bit difficult to have this kind of opportunity. So it's a great opportunity, I'd say, based on my previous experience, these kind of programs, honestly. And it's easier. Now there is connection flights, direct flights. Before you had to go all the way through buses, and a very interesting experience also that one, but with more challenges. So this is the serious part. There is also a fun part in terms of human interaction, things you will learn, or things you will be very surprised when discovering either that we are too similar or even small differences. So yeah, just go for this opportunity and share it as much as you can through your networks too. Like, we'd really love to hear as many burning issues across the countries on these points as possible.
One more question in the chat room. So regarding the cost of printing the questionnaire forms, no, we will help you with the logistics.
Erida, if you have anything else to add or any other questions?
Every topic it is covered, at least because we are also inside the process, so that's why maybe for us it doesn't come too much news to talk about. But I would just inform, as a logistic issue, everything will be recommended, everything is already studied. We have already prepared the guide for which they can choose, which places they can choose for living, which places they can go for eating, for drinking, for parties, for visiting, how they can reach the site views. So everything is already here.
We have a question from Mercy saying that is priority given to academic students. If yes, one of the eligibility criteria is that you should be either master or PhD student, or as I said, recent graduate, youth researcher, young professionals, or youth activists. Now, affiliation to organization active in field of education or research will be considered an asset. So by that, if you are affiliated to a university or civil society organization, it will be an asset, but then based on the criteria that Ivana explained, those are the evaluation criteria. So it's not to so the assessment will be fair based on the published criteria. So this is not to intimidate other applicants with different backgrounds.
So among target groups that we listed, there is no priority given to one or the other. So these are just, you need to be part of one of the target groups.
So Ivana, if there is no other question, I think that we can close the session. But still, students can contact us in the email, or they can send us any kind of question. We are going to send them replying back to our webpage and as well in their emails. So if there is no question, I think that already we have concluded the session.
Thank you so much for your interest, and feel free to contact us via email. And I hope that you will have enough time to prepare your research proposals, and I will get to see you in Belgrade.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.